Peace and blessings, everyone. I'm back with another video, and today I want to talk about life and death. I want to talk a little bit about this subject due to some things that happened in my life in these past 2 weeks, and on top of the passing of Kobe Bryant. Life is beautiful and life is short. None of us know when that time will come that we leave this garb of flesh and return back to the essence of God. Therefore, we should live each day to the fullest and enjoy life on life's terms as it comes. Tomorrow is not promised to us. 5 seconds from now is not promised to us, more or less tomorrow. Therefore, we must enjoy today. That's why that saying says, don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today, because we don't know if tomorrow will ever come. A lot of people cringe at the word death. They cringe at talking about death because they fear dying. They fear the word death itself. And I want everyone to know that death is not something that you should fear, for we are all eternal beings. The soul is what animates this lump of flesh, and the soul is what we truly are. However, man only comes to know these things when man decides that he wants to know himself. And that is one of the golden rules right there. Know thyself. And once you start to study yourself, you start unlocking doors and keys to enjoy life on a whole different level, where you're not even thinking about death, and death doesn't have any weight over you. The thought of dying is like you changing clothes. Death comes in many forms, and a lot of us don't realize it because, again, we're living life, and life is constantly moving. But the only other thing that is constant is change. And that's what death is. Death is a change or a transition. Therefore, we shouldn't fear it. Death is not an enemy to man. It is actually a friend that when man completes his duties here, the cord is cut and his boat sails on smoother seas. One may kill the body, but none can kill the soul. We should live our lives to the fullest, enjoying every day and trying to leave behind a legacy that's worthy of people to remember us, to talk about us after we're gone. And that in turn makes you immortal twice. Because if you leave behind a legacy as to where people are constantly talking about the things you said or the things you did, you won't die in that form, and you won't die in the form of when the physical body passes, because of the fact that you are the soul. I want everyone to understand that there's a silver lining in everything that happens in our lives. When a loved one passes away, there is a silver lining there. We can learn. I'm big on education, and I'm big on us learning, because all of these natural processes are put in our lives to teach us, for us to study and observe them and break them down and come to not understand them but overstand them. And when you do that, then you know that things happen just how they were supposed to. Peace and blessings to the souls of my departed friends and to Kobe Bryant and his daughter. Um, people don't understand that change is inevitable. Change is going to happen whether you want it to or not. We can't stop change. It's impossible. You can't stop change. Change is a natural occurrence in life, in the world, period. When we live our lives, it is a must that we begin to study ourselves. And when I say study ourselves, I mean study ourselves. And when I say selves, I'm talking plural. I'm not only talking about your fellow man or woman, but I'm talking about you, because you have a higher and a lower self. The only devil that there truly is you. You are the devil, and at the same degree, you are the angelic being, or God made manifest in the flesh, because he is within you. And this is what Jesus told us. Therefore, if you believe your teachings, how do you think, or why would you fear death when Jesus tells you that God is within you? God can't die. However, like I said, when we begin to study ourselves, then we will realize that death is nothing to fear or even give much thought to. It's just a process that will come and it'll go. And the biggest thing is this: when we do pass, we won't know it. It's the legacy that we leave behind that will keep us alive here in this physical world. And we, or our souls, will be alive in the essence of God once again. So when we go about our daily lives, we need to go about them and enjoy everything. Life is too short to be mad with people, to hold grudges. Life is just to be lived and to be enjoyed. And this is why you should love your neighbor as you love yourself. Because, again, love is the most powerful emotion that we as human beings share or are able to exhibit and to bestow upon another human being or upon creation. I'm not going to just say human beings, because you bestow love upon your pet. Some people love trees and they bestow love upon that. So I'm going to say bestow love upon creation. Human beings are some of the most interesting products of the world, due to the fact that we have the ability to reason. And because we have the ability to reason, things like death bothers us. Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever sat and watched a child play? Or can you remember when you were a youth and how death was something that your family really kept from you, and therefore you knew nothing about it, and so you lived your life totally different. You lived your life without any fear. Fear is something that is installed in us by other people or those people around us. And once we came to witness death and began to question what death was, and learn that it was us leaving or no longer being in physical existence, a lot of us became afraid. A lot of us looked at death as being a bad thing, because no one ever took time to tell you that you, the true you, could never die, that you are immortal, that death is nothing but a transition into a better place. Again, it's a change. If your situation here was what people deem to be as bad, in death, you find nothing but joy and happiness. See, death comes in many forms, as I said. Daily we die, but people don't even think about or look at that. When we go to rest at night, that is a form of death. You have people who are mentally dead, you have people who are emotionally dead, you have people who are spiritually dead. And then you have the physical action of death. However, none of these forms of death are to be feared, because they all can be overcome. Once you know yourself and know and understand who and what you truly are, then you'll know that none of this phases you, that everything will happen in accordance to how it was meant to happen. Therefore, there's no need to guard yourself or to guard your children. It is just to live life and to enjoy life, to love and to help your brothers and sisters, your neighbors, because that is our social duty. We weren't put here alone. We were put here with other people. And because we were put here with other people, we are to help one another. And right now, I hope that this video helps someone to understand that they do not have to fear death. That death is not something to be feared. That death is actually something that, when one understands who they really are, is something that they will embrace. I came to y'all in peace and blessings, and I leave y'all the same way. Peace.